Unique food in the world. So this company has taken the decision to expand it and make a plant which can process the milk and make so many foods out of it. We can add a lot of values. We can export the yogurt, we can export the milk maheyu, we can export the shakers, we have to add some values in that.
SNV Netherlands Development Organization, through our market-led dairy innovations project, is working at overturning smallholder farmers' contribution to the formal market. It is by making sure that we develop an enabling environment in terms of making sure that farmers have access to all the inputs and services they need for them to be in production. So SNB is working closely with the Dairy Association of Zambia, working with the smallholder dairy cooperatives in Southern Province through MDIP to help them bring services closer to their members.
DAS was established to protect and promote the interests of its members in their various capacities, as dairy producers, dairy processors, purveyors, and others like the equipment suppliers, as long as they have an interest in the business of the dairy industry. And also DAS was established to promote the development of the dairy industry in the country in order to meet both the domestic demand in terms of milk as well as the export demand. We need to facilitate a situation where we allow farmers to do what they know best, which is milk production. Then we allow processors to do what they know best, which is processing. Then also we encourage other investors to come in so that they can carry on with the business of processing and also mopping up the huge volumes of milk, which we call lost milk, which is traded informally, which is in terms of volume, it is somewhere around about 280 million liters annually. Only 71 million liters is traded formally.
Retailers supply the high-end customers, whereas low-end customers get their milk directly from their local MCCs. Despite the financial benefit of direct sales, the most prominent development in the last 5 years in the smallholder dairy sector has been the development of producer-owned milk collection centers, MCCs.
We have 73 farmers. A day we collect 2,500 liters to 3,000 liters a day. The advantages of belonging to a cooperative are that at least the farmers will have a ready market. Because it's difficult for one to sell the milk. Let's say if you are milking 100 liters, it's difficult for one to sell the 100 liters of milk. But now that we have the cooperative, farmers are able to deliver their milk here and we sell on their behalf.
The current formal milk supply chain is fed into by the commercial dairy farmers, providing 75 to 80% of the national milk production, estimated at 70 million liters of milk per year, and 15 to 20% by small-scale dairy farmers. The commercial dairy farmers supply the processors directly, whereas the small-scale farmers supply to the local milk collection centers where milk is aggregated for the processors like Parmalat, Dairy King, Varun Dairy and Zamilk.
So we can help a lot to make all 25 million liter milk in Zambia. So we can process it completely, to collect it, to procure it, and to make the money by the farmers and the companies and everybody. So there is a lot of possibilities here.
With more small and medium emergent dairy farmers entering the formal market, aspects on milk quality and hygiene as well as financial resources for investment and operational capital become of crucial importance to this group.
We met this good couple at Livestock who introduced us to pasteurization. We were discussing as farmers how good it is actually if we could pasteurize the milk because we would keep it longer. But we didn't have any idea at that time how we would do without machinery because we knew machinery was very expensive. They offered that they would help us because that's how they started themselves. And so does the manual batch pasteurizer, where you just seal the milk, put in this batch thing, close it and boil it manually. So that's how we started. Currently, our operational capacity is 600 liters per day. This factory can do 8,000 per day. So we will need expertise in this dairy industry. those who bring capital to help us grow, those are welcome.
The industry has recorded numerous improvements over the past 10 to 15 years, including increased number of dedicated small-scale farmers from 620 in the year 2000 to more than 5,300 in 2014. Increased dairy herds from under 5,000 in the year 2000 to more than 20,000 in the year 2014. Increased milk collection capacity from 6 milk collection centers in the year 2000 to 74 in the year 2015. Increased number of processors from 4 in the year 2000 to 21 in the year 2015. Increased milk production from under 180 million liters in the year 2000 to 470 million liters in 2015.
The key findings of a dairy study we did here in Zambia on investment opportunities were that there were different opportunities at 3 different levels. So at the farm level, at the milk collection center level, and at the processing level. At the farm level, the opportunities were more towards forage production and conservation, on cattle concentrates and water supply technology. On the milk collection center level, there were a lot of opportunities on equipment, especially on mobile milk cooling tanks or solar hot water boilers, but also on equipment for milk intake recordings or quality testing. Finally, at processing level, you see a lot of these processing companies looking for processing plants that can not only pasteurize milk, but also fermented milk and drinking yogurts.
Livestock Services provides stock feeds for all species of animals, and the Livestock Services also provides other services such as consultation. Here we have consultants. They are veterinary, nutritionists, laboratories, and animal production. Just to advise farmers, everybody walks in this place to ask anything, and we give them free of charge. We've done a proposal, and we are welcoming any person who can come in the country so that we can partner with that somebody. We can set up a similar structure in other parts of the country on the franchise basis. There's a vast opportunities to invest in the dairy sector.
If there's a problem among the animals, we go and intervene and give the veterinary services to them. So we do both input supply as well as clinical services and also advice. During the dry season, there's a challenge of nutrition, which is very critical here. Farmers have a challenge to feed the animals, and so we need to find supplements in the form of feedstuffs that they can maybe compound and add it to their dairy feeding rations. So that is an opportunity.
With improved investment in feeding, forage conservation, improved breeds and cattle management, milk production can easily be increased by 50 to 75%.
We can specialize in sexed semen, of which if we do that, we are going to have about 99% chance of having female calves being born from those heifers that are inseminated. Then we can also invest in artificial insemination technicians that are going to provide the artificial insemination services even to the rural areas, because we have a number of AI technicians that are in the peri-urban areas, but the challenge is reaching out to the rural community. So if we can have a lot of technicians, this can also go to the furthest areas.
When you do AI, you are able to have these exotic breeds with high-yielding milking bulls, and then you can AI to small-scale farmers, either to commercial farmers. So it will be cheaper for one to get the AI services than buying a bull from United States.
There is a great scope for Dutch investors, expertise and skills to invest, improve and grow the dairy sector in Zambia. For more information on dairy opportunities in Zambia, go to www.agriprofocus.com/dairy.
Kenya, a country famous for its hard-working people, fertile soils, and a tropical climate, which ensures 2 rainy seasons a year, ideal conditions for a healthy and prosperous agricultural sector. As climate change is making an impact across the continent, African farmers are having to adapt rapidly to new and uncertain conditions. This film will be looking at the ways Kenyan farmers are increasing their climate change resilience by adopting ecological farming. With large-scale farmers focusing on sale and export, it is left to small-scale farmers to produce the bulk of the food that feeds Kenyans. They have different incentives to embark on food production, as Karen Acheng explains.
It was 2005. We didn't have anything to eat. And we were struggling, and we had so many quarrels in the house because of food. And when we started with the tomatoes that time, we didn't harvest the way we expected, but the much we harvested put us somewhere and made us to know that there is money in the farm. From the farming we are doing, we have managed to pay school fees for our children. It's what has sustained us up to this time.
Agriculture contributes to the livelihoods and food security of over 80% of the Kenyan population. That is why the country's policymakers are looking to agriculture as the main driver of national development. Irrespective of their motivation to get into farming, farmers are all too familiar with a common set of challenges. In Kenya, the unpredictability of the weather and droughts are by far the most difficult challenges.
Kwa wakati ule wa kina mababu zangu, wakati nilizaliwa nikiwa mdogo, tofauti ya hanga na sasa imebadilika kwa kiwango kikubwa. Sababu nakumbuka by the late 90s, mvua ilikuwa ikinyesha vizuri, ilikuwa inanyesha long one. Watu wanalima, hata kama umelima kuchelewa unavuna. Lakini saa hii ukichelewa ile tone ya kwanza, mambo yameharibika. Mahali tulikuwa tunalima wakati kulikuwa kunalimwa nikiwa mdogo, tumepunguza hiyo shamba sababu unapata mvua inanyesha kidogo, huwezi maliza kulima hii kabla hujakauka, mvua ijakatika. Na ikikatika hiyo mara moja, basi umepoteza. Alafu tena hakukuwa na hii joto kali. Hii joto ndio huwa inaumiza chakula. Manake si eti pale chini kumekauka, lakini hii joto ya juu ndio huwa inafanya chakula inakataa, inazama pale. Lakini hapo awali ilikuwa inamaliza hata wiki moja na uoni hata jua kali, na mchanga ukauki kwa haraka, chakula ikauki kwa haraka. Kwa hivyo huwa iko na tofauti sana wakati huu na ule wakati wa awali.
Some farmers have turned to measures tailored to their specific situation in an effort to adapt to climate change. In Bungoma County, Priska Mayende has taken up agroforestry, a method of growing crops in the forest. It has proven to be a measure that has greatly transformed her household as well as her community.
We have a CPO called Viriso Farmers Field School, whereby all these farmers, they're also practicing the farming that I'm doing. So we came in as a CPO and we started planting tree. We also involved ourselves in local collection of seeds so that we could even supply to the community. That's why, for example, you see it's raining. Right now it's really raining, but you cannot see water just moving because of the trees.
Over in Machakos County, Francisca Mbuli is taking advantage of indigenous knowledge by introducing crops on her farm that have adapted to local climatic conditions over time and are better suited to a changing climate.
Kitambo tulikuwa kama nimepanda mahindi, nilikuwa na confidence hiyo mahindi nimepanda na nitafuna. Sasa imebadilika ikawa sasa lazima nitafute zile mbegu ambazo stahimili ama adapt this climate change. Sababu nikipanda mahindi sitafuna kitu. Lazima nichanganye mahindi, green grams, kila kitu. Sasa nikichanganya hivyo long last harvest nitapata tu kitu, sitatoka bure. Tuseme kama sasa nimepanda sorghum niko na confidence hata kama mvua itanyesha tu mbili, hiyo sorghum lazima nifune. Badala ya kupanda mahindi ikae huko nitoke bure. Ndio nimekuja kufahamu ya kwamba lazima nipande zile mbegu ambazo zina adapt to climate change. Hata kama ni mvua mbili zinyeshe, at least nitoke na kitu kwa shamba, badala ya kupanda zile ambazo ati tunasema ndio za zamani na unatoka bure. Baadhi ya masomo ambayo nawafunza wakulima wenzangu kwa vikundi ni maneno ya kuvuna maji, kutengeneza mitaro, kuhifadhi mbegu ambazo ni zile za kienyeji, kwa maneno ya kutengeneza compost ambayo ni manure ambayo tunatoa kwa mboma zetu tunapeleka kwa mashamba, ndio tusitumie zile mandawa ambazo zinaharibu mchanga. Pia nawafunza maneno ya kuhifadhi mbegu ambazo tulisoma kutoka kwa wamama ambao ni wazee, ambao tulienda kwao tukawauliza vile kulikuwa kitambo kabla ya climate change, wakatuelezea zile mbegu ambazo walikuwa nazo huko kwa mashamba yao. Sasa wakatuonyeshia mahali ziko, wakatupatia kidogo kidogo, alafu tukakuja tukazalizana zikakuwa mingi. Sasa hizo ndizo tunapanda kwa mashamba yetu. Ndio tusiwe tunapanda zile ambazo ni certified seeds ambazo asifanyi mzuri huku kwetu.
Most small-scale farmers rely entirely on rainfall for their farming needs. Sometimes it takes a great amount of resilience to get by, something Farmer John Wambua knows all too well. The water pan he dug at the beginning of the year stands empty.
Wakati ule wa kwanza tulikuwa tunatayarisha mashamba. Nilikuwa nimejipanga sababu ya hiyo shamba nilikuwa nimechimbia shimo pale juu. Nilikuwa nimeanza kutayarisha shamba hapo karibu na shimo. Ndio nikipata hiyo maji nianze kunyunyizia hiyo shamba. Nilikuwa na maoni ningepanda, mvua ikinyesha ningepanda hizi mboga. Ndio wakati wa kiangazi kama huu, manake huku kwetu kuna changamoto ya mboga, ningewauzia na nipate pesa. Na pia wakati huo nilikuwa natayarisha shamba huku chini, sababu nilikuwa natarajia nitalima na nitavuna. Lakini sasa wakati mvua ilikosa kabisa, sasa ndio maana natumia hata kuchota maji na mitungi huko nikileta nikinyunyizia mboga zangu ili sizikauke. Kama mkulima huwa kawaida, mkulima ni kama mfanyabiashara, huwezi kufa moyo kama unafanya biashara. Sasa tarajio yangu sijakufa moyo, bado nang'ang'ana hata kuongezea zaidi.
Every farmer's desire is to get higher yields, address food security concerns, improve their livelihood, and adapt to the difficult climatic conditions which are affecting food production.
The time I was just doing my own farming before they came, the production had really reduced. But when I started using this compost manure and also this vermicompost, the production also increased.
Organically increasing the fertility of the soil is one of the most successful means to improve productivity.
The local manure, the one from the cows and the sheep, is what I used during planting. I used 1 heap of handful in per hole. And the outcome is 100%.
Diversifying into different crops is a good strategy to spread risks and build in harvest guarantees.
I'm starting early land preparation and improved variety of seeds. I've gone to high value trees like pawpaws. So the fruits I'll sell and get at least something for my own consumption and sell and for the household management. I'm doing crop diversification. So with me, I'm growing several. So if this one fails, I receive the other one. they can't fail all. So crop diversification has helped me. The water I've tapped, I'm doing irrigation with them. Like when I've tapped the water, the surface runoff to my pan. When it gets dry, I'm using moneymaker to irrigate my crops. So they're helping me.
While the farmers are under pressure to conform to industrial agricultural models being sold across the region, some Kenyans are raising the profile of ecological farming by proudly investing in research and knowledge generation. One such place is Manor House Agricultural Center that is located in Kitale. Since its founding in 1984, the center has provided training and certification in ecological farming.
We started off by training adults in short courses lasting 1 week. But of course, today we have moved to long courses up to diploma. But then we felt, in Kenya, agriculture in primary school is not taught. So the children don't have any knowledge. In fact, they look down upon agriculture, and they are the farmers of tomorrow. So with that in mind, we thought there is a gap missing, and that gap could be filled by us trying to inculcate bio-intensive farming in the young minds, so that when they grow up, they can be ambassadors of the ecological farming.
I'm the head teacher here in Kitale Township School. Manor House Agricultural Center, I've trained 2 pupils plus 1 teacher, and now the skills that they acquired, they are now bringing in, and they are assisting other pupils to do the same.
When I went to Manor House, I learned about the bio-intensive agriculture. When I came here in school, I taught them about the advantages of agriculture. I've taught them in making the double digging beds, because that is hard in making it. I taught my younger brothers and sisters and my parents about the BIA. It's easy, but you must follow well the instructions. Now they're doing this bio-intensive agriculture because I taught them well and they understood it.
Sydney taught me about double digging, and it's a good idea. I go even to my home, I started doing it. I have 2 beds for sukuma wiki and for spinach. If you see in my community, they don't buy vegetables at centers. They just take at their home because I told them how to plant it, and they call even to dig for them double digging.
The little we have done is really encouraging. Our parents outside there, our farmers now, they are changing to use this good method to acquire food.
Manor House is doing a noble thing. We are contributing immensely to the well-being of the citizens, to food production even across the borders. We are still a small drop in the ocean, although without that drop the ocean will not be complete. So we would like to reach out, and we would like to cover many parts of the country so that people can have healthy food.
More than 3/4 of all agriculture in Kenya is carried out by small-scale farmers. Their ability to cope with a changing climate is of critical importance to feeding Africa. A large-scale switch to small-scale ecological farming will make farmers more resilient to the changing conditions. It's a transition that needs to happen collectively, or as they say in Kenya, sticks in a bundle are unbreakable.